Welcome to Undisputed, live from Los Angeles. I'm Joy Taylor, here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Hi, Joy.
Morning, Joy.
Hi, Shannon.
I see you got on the wine, Joy. You like them on cows, huh? You want them on cows to do something on Saturday.
I would love for the Cavs to do something on
Oh,
Saturday.
they're going to do something?
I don't want to see Boston in the...
You know, I hope your man's off in Cabo or somewhere actually resting. He needs a lot of rest.
We're in them therapeutic boots.
Oh, yeah.
Cryo, yeah, we getting
Really?
right there. Mm-hmm.
He's been running out of gas.
Yeah.
Needs to gas up over these streets. I thought he'd go to the islands. Go somewhere.
For what?
Yeah.
Bring the island to us. How you doing, Skip? You good today?
I'm better than the Golden State Warriors.
Whoa, I don't know how they could lose with the best player on the planet, Joy.
I
How is
thought
that
he was
possible?
pretty great last
Oh,
night.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you think so. Come on, you go ahead, guys. I've been waiting.
Let's get started with a big win for the Rockets. They bounced back in a big way and blew out the Warriors last night. The series is now tied 1-1. Kevin Durant led all scorers with 38, but the Rockets had 5 guys in double figures, including James Harden's 27, Eric Gordon's 27 off the bench, and PJ Tucker's 22 points. Let's take a listen to Harden and Mike D'Antoni after the win.
We are who we are, and we had to be who we are. We just did it better, longer. Guys believe it, and we're not going to change anything up. That would be silly on my part to panic. I mean, you don't do that. We're very comfortable about who we are, and we can beat anybody, anywhere, at any time, playing the way we play.
We focus on what we're supposed to do. We're really worried about who we're playing against. Like if we come out and be some dogs and do what we did tonight, it doesn't matter. But if we don't, then we see the results in game 1. You know, so it's not about chess match or what they're doing. It's about us.
Shannon, what was your takeaway from last night's game?
This is the Rockets formula. What they try to do is shoot you out the building on every occasion, Skip. They set an NBA record. Actually, they broke their record from the previous year by making 15 threes per game. And this is their formula. 16, I think they were 16 of 41. Now, they start getting in the 15, 16, 20 range, Skip. It's going to be awful difficult for a team to beat you. They did this on a night in which James Harden struggled. 9 of 24 from the field, 3 of 15 from the three-point line. But when you get P.J. Tucker, Trevor Ariza, and Eric Gordon going 12 of 18 from the three-point line, well, your superstar MVP candidate can have an off night like this, and they bring you home. So the thing that concerns me, Skip, and they played really well last night. They were shooting the ball, shot the lights out of the building. But this is the only way they can win. They don't have a fallback plan. If the ball is not falling, they can't lock you down and says, okay, we're not making shots. We're going to D you up so you don't get to make shots, and we'll break out of this. That's not who they are. They play one way. They do a lot of pick and roll. They do a lot of isolation. And it's amazing. Joe, you know, yesterday somebody told me that Steph Curry was a top 5 in all the playoffs. Steph Curry was a top 5 defender. Did you know they put him in pick and roll and isolation more in the last 2 games than at any point in the regular season over the last 4 years in playoffs?
Or wait, are you saying somebody lied? I don't know. Wait, are you accusing? Did I make that up? Wait, no. Somebody gets to defend somebody's self, Joy. Somebody gets to defend themselves. It's a stat. I didn't just say he was top 5. It's a stat. It's called defensive win shares. He was top 5. He was 4th overall in the playoffs. Go ahead.
And I tried to explain to you how flawed it was. Because when you have a team that's number 1 defensively, sometimes the guys that play in that system get overrated. That's all I was trying to do, Skip. No harm, no foul. I'm sorry. I'm reclaiming my time.
Okay.
Can I talk, Nico? Let me talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not your turn. I will let you know when it's your turn. But this is the way the Rockets going to need to win this series. They're going to have to shoot lights out from the three-point line. James Harden struggled in game 2. He had a phenomenal game 1. But even though he had a phenomenal game, he needed his teammates. He needed, Eric Gordon to be Eric Gordon that won 6th Man of the Year last year. That's in the running again this year. They need him to score 27. They need to do what he did. P.J. Tucker, a career high, 22. Trevor Ariza, 19. So when you get that kind of production, it's amazing. When one team has 5 or 6 guys in double figures, and the other team only have a guy that goes bonkers. Joe, I mean, he was lights out. 38 points. But 38, and you got 5 guys in double figures. You see what happens, Skip? I guess. But I don't want to talk about it right now. It's your turn.
Oh, really? It's my turn.
Yep.
Joy, do you remember that game 2 in Boston the other night? Kevin Love Kevin Love, a five-time All-Star, had 22 points and 15 rebounds. That's pretty good, isn't it?
What about the
Sounds
other guys?
pretty good. I don't know. That seems like help to me. Kyle Korver scored 11 points in just the second quarter in game 2. Just the second quarter, and then what happened? The coach said, you're out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Leave the help on the bench.
I'm talking about Kevin Durant.
Yeah, okay.
He had
Kevin
help too.
Durant.
He had help too, right?
Kevin Durant last night. Joy, did you see this? He scored 30. You mentioned it in your lead. He scored 38 points. He made 9 out of 9 free throws. You ever seen LeBron make 9 out of 9?
Oh, yeah. We saw him do 15 to 15. Remember in Indy?
He's shooting 73% from the line, and you're going to lose another case of Diet Mountain Dew because you said 80% or better in the playoffs, right?
Are the playoffs over?
They're about to be.
No, they're not.
Well, unfortunately. My turn.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
is.
So, what if I had told you 24 hours ago, sitting in your chair that you sit in right now, that, as you mentioned, James Harden would shoot 3 for 15 from the three-point line and wind up with 3 total assists for the game? What if I told you that? What would you have told me? I know what would have told you. I would have said, Houston, you have a big old problem, like a sweep problem, right?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say that?
Yes.
And then something happened last night that I didn't see coming. I will always remember this game as the P.J. Tucker game. P.J. Tucker? Do you realize who P.J. Tucker is or isn't?
He's more known for defense.
Yeah. Do you realize he's 33 years old, and after he got drafted in the second round after 3 years at the University of Texas, not 1 year, 3 years, he had to go overseas. He played in Israel and the Ukraine and bounced around in Germany and Italy and Puerto Rico for 6 years before he even made it in the NBA at Phoenix. Then he went to Toronto, and you're right, his trademark became his defense. And then last night, what? He makes 8 out of 9 shots, makes 5 out of 6 threes, and scores a playoff career high, which is almost his regular season career high, of 22 points. Who could see that coming? You know what it reminded me of, Joy? Do you remember Game 4 in the 2012 finals? LeBron's first breakthrough. Remember this at Miami?
Mike Miller.
Nope, that was Game 5.
Oh,
it was the Mario Chalmers game. I always, every time I think of that finals, I think of the Mario Chalmers game. He scored 25 points that game out of nowhere. Mario? Rio, as they called him. He scored 25 points. He scored 14 in the fourth quarter of a close game.
Right.
Well, these things happen. It's just an aberration. It's a blip on the radar. Right. You can't explain it. You can't justify it. It just happened. Every time I look up, P.J. Tucker's making another 3. Eric Gordon made 6 out of 9. That doesn't surprise me because he always does something like that.
Yeah, he shot the ball better last night than at any point in time.
We
in
said
these
he's been
playoffs.
struggling, but again, in the regular season, he was a terror, man. He makes a lot of shots. So then Mike D'Antoni made me laugh out loud once again after the game. He said, "We didn't change nothing." You changed everything. The ball actually moved last night for the first time. I haven't seen the ball move like that since my Spurs got eliminated, because that looked like Spurs' beautiful basketball to me, where it's just being whipped around the perimeter. There was that one possession with 4:30 left in the second quarter, if we could see that. And all of a sudden, the ball is moving around and around and around the speed. In the middle, back out, and there he is, Eric Gordon. Right. Boom. Did that look like what happened in Game 1? Did you see that at all in Game 1? I saw dribble, step back, step back, step back, step. I saw James Harden dominate the basketball. So he went last night from ball stopper to ball mover. And you're telling me you didn't change anything? You changed everything. The whole look changed to me last night. And then, as he did say, and the one thing I agreed with, he used the old NBA adage, we got up in him, meaning we got up in them defensively. Yeah. And you know what? The beautiful thing about basketball to me is you can play football basketball barely within the rules where you don't hurt anybody, but you bruise a bunch of people, and you intimidate everybody. They played hellacious, desperate defense like I haven't seen them play all year. And they are capable of playing pretty good defense. But why do you think Golden State had 7 turnovers in the first quarter? It wasn't unforced errors. It was because of amped up pressure on everybody with the basketball, and they're getting a little intimidated. They're forced errors by the defense. And they took over the game, and I still thought that Golden State was going to make a run, and then somebody would make a shot, and somebody else would make a shot. And remember, Iguodala had 2 free throws with 8 minutes left in the game, and he made the first one. If he makes the second one, they cut it to 10. Well, you know the old adage there is if you cut it to 10, you got a chance because psychologically, oh, it's only down to 10, right? And then would you believe that from that point on, it's over down to the 246 mark, that Houston goes on a 23-5 run? That's hard to do. That's what Golden State does to people. 23-5. And it wasn't James Harden who was doing it. It wasn't Eric Gordon who was doing it. It was everybody who was doing it. Everybody's making shots in the lane. Chris Paul's making crazy shots. They just had a night in which they were so desperate because if they lose that game, it's going to invalidate 65 wins, right? It's just going to mean the whole season is rendered virtually meaningless, right? And they knew it, and they came out and played that way. And Golden State got knocked on their heels, I thought.
But last night was a sample. Kevin Durant got a taste of what it feels like to be LeBron James. When you have it go enjoy, and you're supporting cast, because when you have your starter and he outscores the other 4 starters, you're like, whoa. But I'm trying to figure out. Now, Kevin Durant plays defense, Joy. He plays way better defense than LeBron James.
He does.
But I'm trying to figure out, who was he guarding? Was he guarding Trevor Ariza because he had 19? Maybe he was guarding P.J. Tucker because he had 22. Was it James Harden? Was it Eric Gordon? Or was it Chris Paul? I'm just trying to figure out, because I'm looking at his stat line. I see 38 points, 0 assists, 3 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 0 blocks, 0 steals.
Well, you know who he usually guards? He usually guards Clint Capella. And then what happened? What happened? They went small. They went small.
I'm just asking you.
You realize the Hamptons 5, the small ball, the death lineup? All of a sudden, Houston said, well, we'll match you with our
they went to the Houston Summit. That's when they got Chris Paul. They called it the Houston Summit. They got old Tuck and Ariza.
But all of a sudden, they're going with P.J. Tucker and Eric Gordon in the lineup. So they're going with 5 little guys, right?
I'm trying to understand. Now, if Kevin Durant, who's the best player in basketball, he's got to deliver this. He's got to bring this home. I'm trying to figure out now. Kevin Durant had it going. I guess Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they were just standing around because they was like, Kevin, throw me the ball. Throw me the ball, Kevin.
Boy,
0 assists.
There were times last night when Kevin Durant was just unstoppable. Do you realize he made 13 of 22 shots? The commentators, you turn the sound down, they're just oohing and on like, that's a 7-foot monster. You can't stop that.
If you don't mind me asking, like I said, you mentioned, I had to. What was Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson? Mark's a good friend of mine. What were they saying about LeBron on Tuesday night, Skip?
I don't know.
Were they oohing and on? You had the volume up.
Well, I told you, Van Gundy finally just went off and said,
offensively,
you got to play defense. Somebody's got to play defense, and he meant LeBron.
Well, who was playing defense last night? The number 1 defensive team in the postseason gave up 127. Now, was Kevin Durant on the court? Because this is how
Here's what happens. They are so good that they're too good for their own good. You know it, and I know. What happened in New Orleans in Game 3? It happened again last night. This team goes cruise control. All this team cares about is the NBA Finals. It's like, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
So Kevin Durant
it was so easy in Game 1, and Kevin Durant was a monster in Game 1, and they were monstrous defensively in Game 1, that they thought they could just kind of stroll out and take care of a little easy business last night, and you know the rest of the story.
If you don't mind me asking,
one team was desperate, the other team was in cruise control.
So Kevin Durant was who had the highest plus minus last night?
So, this is interesting because I think you're angling for a big case of do-bad here.
What?
I will give you the Rockets in this series. If you like the Rockets and you don't like Kevin Durant, if you're saying he's overrated, I will give you the Rockets straight up for a case of Mountain Dew right here, right now. Take it. It's right here in the middle of the table. You are making the case that Kevin Durant is overrated, so I give you that, and I'll take Golden State in this series. It's 1-1. It's just 1-1. And guess who has home court?
The only thing I'm
Houston
willing to say Kevin Durant is over, he's over 6'10". That's the only over I'm hearing. But all I'm saying, Skip, is that now you're getting an opportunity. Because here's a guy that had 38 points and 0 assists. You talk about my guy who had 42 points and 12 assists that his teammates didn't know how to respond. Really? He had 12 assists. One guy has 38-0. Now, just for context, Joe, you know I love context, Joe. In 2 games, Kevin Durant has 1 more assist than me. Enjoy Taylor, I haven't played basketball in 25 years. In 2 games, Kevin Durant has 1 more assist than Shannon Sharp. He has 6 more rebounds. And
But
Skip, he's a 7-foot monster, right?
yeah, and what was happening last night? Do they
They're
usually
getting
make
the
a
doors
lot of?
blowed off him.
Do they usually make a lot of 3-point shots? How many did Steph make last night? 1 for 8, and Clay didn't even take very many. He was just 2 for 4. So Kevin made 3 of 7, so that led the team. But he's saying, because they're saying to him, Kevin, you got to shoot every shot, man. You got to make every shot.
You got a 2-time MVP on your roster.
13 of 22 was Kevin Durant. Is that good? Good? That
I don't
sounds
know.
good to me.
Is 16
38 points?
Is 16 to 29 good?
Interesting.
Is 42, 12, and 10? Is that good, Skip? Is that good or bad?
Okay, I'll take a second case of Diet Mountain Dew. I'll take Golden State to win the championship. You want Cleveland? I'll give you Cleveland.
No.
You want Cleveland?
Skip, I'm just trying. I just want you to help me understand.
I just helped you understand.
How can Kevin Durant be responsible for 38 points and LeBron be responsible for 69?
Interesting. But who won that game? Did LeBron win that game?
They lost.
They lost by 13. They got blown out too.
Oh, that's my think about it.
Wow.
My guy has 42, 10, and 12. Your guy has 38 and 0. So I wondered, was Clay and Steph just standing around like, Kevin, pass me the ball? What do you want me to do?
It looked like to me that Steph Curry was completely out of it last night. I don't know what it looked like to you. And again, you say he's overrated on defense. I thought he actually played pretty good defense last night, but they're attacking him because they think his knee is not healed yet.
They're attacking him because he doesn't play defense. You remember when
he plays pretty good defense. I thought he played really well last night on defense.
You watched in 2016 when they won the Cavaliers won the NBA Finals. They kept Steph Curry in pick and roll. They wanted him to guard Kyrie straight up, or they wanted LeBron to post up on him. That's how you attack him. You know that, I know that, and everybody, and they're like, hold on, wait a minute. What was James Harden doing? Whoever Steph Curry was guarding, come get the top of the key and let me get this pick and roll for you. Hey, Chris Paul, you got it now.
James Harden was 3 of 15 from 3. Somebody had a hand in his face all night.
But see, that's my point. You see what happens? LeBron James can never have that luxury. LeBron James can never have an off night. He can never, LeBron James can never go to bed and lay his head on his pillow and say, you know what? I'm going to struggle tomorrow.
It's kind of like
everything's going to be okay.
Kind of like Michael Jordan couldn't take any nights off because he was the whole show for them on offense and defense. Offense and defense.
He was the 3rd leading assist guy on his own team in '98 and the 4th leading rebounder. But that's not my business because my guy led him in points, rebounds, and assists.
Michael Jordan in six times in the playoffs led the whole playoffs in usage rate. And how about that closeout game 6 in Utah? He scored 45, and they scored a grand total of 8. Wait a second. They scored a grand total of 87? Do the math on that. 45 from 87. Shannon, what is that? That's more than half the points.
Can you give me a little context?
Yeah, I'll give you a whole lot of context because he was all first-team NBA defense, all first-team defense at age 34, and your guy at 33 plays no defense.
How many shots did he take? How many shots did he take in that game?
Well, it's him or bust. It's him or bust. How many Scotties score in that game? Help me out. No, you're big Scottie Pippen.
I think he scored 8 points.
8 points. Wait, so Michael scored 45 and Scottie scored 8? This is the big closeout. This is do or die because Game 7 is going to be in Utah also.
I think Kukoc had like 14.
He had 15.
But I'm trying to figure
15 to 8. So Michael scored 45. He scored more than half their points. How often does LeBron do that? Wow. And wait a second. Who led all players on both teams with 4 steals because he's their best defender?
Whoa. Oh, hold on. You keep telling me about that steal that he had on Karl Malone. Was that a bicycle built for 2? Because if I didn't know better, I swear Dennis Rodman was guarding him.
Yeah, Michael just snaked him from behind.
So he got a steal on a bicycle built for 2?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Carl ever saw him coming.
Exactly. Iguodala did not see LeBron. Thank you, Skip, baby. I do.
J.R. Smith slowed him down so that LeBron could catch him.
So what was Dennis Rodman role in this?
He was just standing there guarding him. He wasn't doing anything. Michael had the presence, the IQ to slip all the way behind, steal the ball, dribble it all the way up the floor by himself and say, Scotty's over there going, I'm open. And he goes straight up and holds the pose. He held the pose. You know what? It's laughable that you would ever bring up Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
You're not telling the whole truth.
Yeah.
You're not telling the whole truth. Jeff Hornacek ran through the lane. Michael Jordan was trailing Hornacek. Malone thought he had gone through. Jordan turned around because he was posted up on Dennis Rodman and stole the ball. So in other words, it wasn't like Michael stole the ball and nobody was between mailman and the basket. Dennis Rodman had it and he didn't see Michael. So in other words,
what? He made a great steal. It was incredible.
that's all I wanted you to say.
Yeah.
So what? LeBron James made an incredible block. That's all I wanted you to say, Skip. That's it.
An incredible block.
It was.
Who made the shot of shots? Kyrie made the shot to win the game. Michael did both. He stole the ball and made the shot.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. If he doesn't make that shot, they go to overtime. That's not clutch. That's what you told me.
Yeah.
You told me if LeBron James missed those 2 buzzer beaters, Joy Taylor, we go into overtime. So it's not clutch. All Kyrie did was hit a shot. If he misses it, he go to overtime.
To do this to him, but he screwed up again. He stepped in his own trap once again. It's 87 to 86 is the final score.
Yeah. Why? That was not the final score.
Yes, it was.
LeBron James hit a free throw. LeBron made it a 4-point game.
No. The Jordan game.
I'm not talking about Jordan.
Well, you just said it was.
No.
The shot go to overtime. No, it was do or die.
No. You said Kyrie. I'm talking about Kyrie's shot against the Golden State
I
Warriors.
thought you said the Jordan shot is do or die.
No, yes.
Do or die. It's 87
What you try to do was minimize Bronze by talking about Kyrie took that big shot.
No, I'm just saying Kyrie took the shot to win the game. Whether, again, anybody can take that shot.
It wasn't nothing. Wasn't nothing. Because if he misses, they go to overtime, Joy. Because that's what we said. We had a debate last week. How clutch was those shots? You and Rob Parker told me.
I'm not trying to make the case that Kyrie is better than LeBron. You're trying to make the all-time dumb case that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan.
I ain't making no case. LeBron James did this. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't making no shots. That's LeBron doing that to you. Be mad at him. I'm just a messenger. That's all I am. I'm just a mouthpiece. LeBron's doing he's painting. All I'm doing is going to put it, I'm Sotheby's. I'm Christie. All I'm going to do is put it up for auction, Joy. Bron is the painter.
Okay. So let's do it right now. I got Golden State for a case of Mountain Dew to win the championship. Well, you don't wait. He's the best player on the planet. He's better than Michael Jordan.
No.
Well, have some guts.
Hold on, time out.
Have some courage of your convictions. Have some guts.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Seriously.
Hold on, just a second.
Well,
now, you're telling me, I say that LeBron is better than Jordan. You say, no, he's not.
Well,
you said, hold on. Okay. You said Kevin Durant is better than LeBron. So Kevin Durant should be the GOAT. So why would I go bet against the GOAT?
No, that's what I think, but you think your guy's the GOAT.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll take him. I got my guy for a case of Dew.
I got my guy on Saturday.
Well, big deal against the Boston Celtics.
Oh, now it's the Boston Celtics. After you just hyped them up, you know what's going on.
Speaking of Saturday, will the Cavs come back to beat the Celtics?
Absolutely.
Yeah.